Hey there, Peter Vexelman here with Partner Driven Real Estate Investing. On the other side, I have one of my partners, Kody Higginbotham. Kody, how are you?
I'm great. How are you, Peter?
I'm good. I'm good. Kody, I know you and I got a lot of stuff going on, but let's just kind of focus on the two deals that we currently have. And by the way, as a side note, I love working with you. Julie, I mean, the whole team just absolutely loves working with you. It was great to see you guys. When was it? Like 2 or 3 months ago when you guys came to Atlanta.
Yes.
So I know we got two deals going on right now, but I know it's just the beginning of many, many more to come. Heck, we have withstood hurricanes in the middle of these deals. That means yeah, we withstood contractor issues, hurricanes, even some realtors walking out on us. Nothing's going to get in the way. Listen, I know you. We all know you here, Kody. But just for people that are going to be watching this who don't know you, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, Peter. Well, I'm a real estate agent, of course, but learning the fix and flip model. I mean, that was newer for me. But I've been in real estate for I would say about 16 years, but as a real estate agent for about 3.5 years now. So I enjoy working with buyers and sellers and investors, but at the end of the day, I just like the experience, the entire process leading up to the final resolution, if you say, as far as profitability, especially like I said, with me as a real estate agent.
It's always interesting to me when people like yourself come into our world. You already have experience in real estate. You already have success in real estate. So tell me initially, like what attracted you to become one of our partners here at Partner Driven?
Actually, Peter, was the opportunity. You were straightforward. You said, what you were offering, to the table when it came to partner driven. But I guess looking at it as partner driven university was the part that was for me outside looking in. I said, what can Peter teach me that I don't already know? That's that real estate in me. So going through the process and actually understanding the perspective of being an investor, not necessarily the just the money backer, but going through the process and understanding what a buy box really is. It's like, okay, no, I had no idea. So although being a real estate agent and we're trained formally, we don't really see the true perspective behind really being an investor or understanding the perspective of how we would really start. So that really opened a door for me, not just from knowing real estate, but it was realistically understanding which properties, how to look at a property that could potentially be an investment opportunity. And then from there, being able to open that door and say, hey, look, let me see if one of the coaches would be available to run this by really quick, or let me call my coach. And is Peter available? So it's this experience all the way around.
One of the things that I tell people is a pillar of success is the coachability. And I could tell you just listening to what you just have to say and even before you said it, I mean, you absolutely rock it out on just being humble about being coachable. And that is such a huge pillar of success. And it just makes such a pleasure, working with you. So let's focus in. I know we have multiple, but let's just for a second let's talk about Crowley. Do you have that address offhand?
Yes, 514 West 10th Street,
Beautiful. And we bought it for
50,000.
$50,000. What did we end up approximately? What did we end up putting into it?
We put, I would say about 40,000
And if I'm not mistaken, I believe it just went under contract a couple days ago, correct? And what did it go under contract for?
at 127.
I love it. So talk about just a little bit about this deal from your perspective, being the individual that's local to the area and local to the deal. First of all, how'd you find it?
So I found it actually through Facebook Marketplace,
Yep.
and it was actually marketed at 60,000. But looking at the photos, the first question that I asked the individual on the other side was, I'm interested in the property, but are you the owner? Because
Yep.
knowing the perspective of ownership versus an assignment, totally different. But I wanted to understand and know that it was the owner I was connecting with. But
Yep.
I had no idea that they would be open to dropping that price to $50,000, a $10,000 drop, because they were so adamant
Yep.
about 60,000. They're going to go lower,
Yep.
but I did not believe that. But going through the steps of the process. My mind was, okay, I want to get to the end now, but trust the process. I've heard you say it, and multi coaches, and of course, Julie say it too. And that's exactly what I did. So I took that perspective, and they dropped the price in no time. It actually went to 55,000, then we took it to 50,000, and we were ready to rock and roll from there.
Well, and once again, just kudos to you, and from a perspective of just being coachable through the process, not questioning it necessarily, although there's nothing wrong with that, not doubting it, although there's really nothing wrong with that, but just kind of blind faith, working, and got a huge, and remember, that's just money that goes in our pockets in the end. So that's a great job on that. Now, big picture perspective, and I always tell people, and I think you've heard me tell you this a couple times, every deal's a mountain. There are no vanilla deals in real estate. And this
Right.
probably just being from the realtor side. Did we talk about a little bit some of the challenges that we encountered, all the way from the inception all the way to where we are today?
Well, Peter, my first issue was I had to get comfortable with speaking to people. I know that sounds funny, but as a real estate agent, you think speaking to people, don't you do it every day? Yes, I do. But this type of conversation, speaking directly to an owner, and asking certain questions, knowing what the end result would look like, not exactly knowing what the resolution would be. So I had to get my bearings on that. And many times, like Peter, I don't know how I'm supposed to, I've talked to all of these individuals and this isn't working out, but took a step back, took a breath. I'm like, okay, actually, this is going to work out in this understanding and knowing that you can do it. That's the first, really true step to know. And after that, it's smooth sailing, just, being coachable, like you stated,
Yep.
and being ready for the next step, always being on your feet, ready rather than not being ready to go.
Now, talk a little bit from the perspective of how the team here at Partner Driven has been in terms of helpful, maybe supportive, as we did go through some of these challenges. Were the people stepping up here and kind of guiding you through
Oh,
and
wow.
helping you get through the process?
Yes. Starting out and actually even to now forward, it's, any question, I'm so used to making that phone call and saying, hey,
Mhm.
look, I need to speak to someone now. But you guys have it completely structured, more structured than I expected or even thought, through the Zoom calls. And also having that availability in all the time and literally around the clock. So, questions pertaining to value and even understanding what a buy box was, understanding purchase price over as is, and knowing communication or conversation to have with other real estate agents, or unbiased opinions that would stand and show what the ARV could be, and knowing the next steps after that, being prepared to pre-sale versus taking it on and knowing that this will be a project that Peter and the crew would actually take on and purchase, fix, and flip back on the market. Totally different perspectives, but every experience has been a learning experience. I've contradicted my mindset many times, but going through the process and understanding the coaches that are available can answer any question. Not There's no such thing as a dumb question, which is a very big thing for me, to be comfortable within my own skin, to say, hey, Peter, you got a second? Or, hey, Julie, can I run something by you? Or, hey, Marina, can I ask you something really quick? And knowing you're available. It's when you're not available, so people are like, okay, what do I do now?
All right.
But I've never experienced that with you guys, which is a huge, huge plus. One reason why I'm in the position now further to roll my sleeves up and say, look, let me find my next big opportunity and talk to Peter about it and see what we can do next with it.
I want to piggyback off something that I started with, and that is your profile, your background. Kody, there's going to be people listening to this video who they're real estate agents. They could be doing well. They might not be doing well. I'm sure they're going to come from all kinds of different profiles, but they're going to look at this and they're going to be like, well, gosh, as a real estate agent and as somebody that may or may not want to do investing, I don't know. Should I just go at it myself and try to figure out this game myself? Or should I go at it the way Kody chose with partner driven? Just for a second, talk to that person who's your profile agent, has had some success beforehand, and now they're thinking to potentially expanding their profession. What would you tell that person?
Give it a chance. The first question for me is, do you trust your own judgment to be able to lose financially or to be able to immediately gain? knowing that you're able to make that decision is one thing, but are you able to really take a step back and say, okay, I really know every single thing about real estate, whether being an agent, whether being a lender, whether being an investor, new or experienced, regardless of the fact, we can never stop learning. God places us in positions and opportunities
Mhm.
that you'd never really, personally, we never know where we're going to go, potentially where we're going to grow. So, looking at that perspective, keeping your eyes and ears open, being open to the change, being open to learning, which is one thing I had to do. And at that point, really grasping the concept where we're not the only individuals in this industry that's wanting to make it big or make millions
Mhm.
of dollars. Well, Rome wasn't built in a day. Just like a hurricane is not created in one moment in time. It's a system, right? Trusting your judgment, but then also knowing that you're not the only one in this game and being open to that change and being open to learning new things. Something that might not be necessarily new could be something that you just not think about in a different perspective. And that's the part that, like I said, I had to learn, but then again, also had to grasp that view to know, okay, I'm in the position of learning. I thought I knew as much as I did, but although I do to an extent, I don't know every single thing. And that's the part of humility that I had to open that door to say, actually, these guys have been doing this for a long time, longer than me, but I want to learn those steps. I want to be able to negotiate as strong as Peter. I want to have that enthusiasm beyond just the empathy, that communication that Julie, you can speak to someone at
Mhm.
any moment. It takes time to create that. And when I told myself after the first deal, I said, man, this was a lot going on. Even the Baton Rouge deal in Sherwood Street, I'm like, my goodness, are we going to get this permit done? It's the rewarding experience leading up to and getting ready for the next step of the process is what it's the energy for me. It's an adrenaline, honestly, for me to get ready for the next big deal. So, looking on the outside, looking in, speaking to the individual that's saying, hey, I'm licensed here and there, I'm an investor. What can PD do or partner driven do for me that I already don't already know? It's understand and learn and experience that you might not be the only one in this game, that even though you might think so, there's more out there than just what you might be able to consume within your own mind.
No question about it. And then just like you mentioned, we already got, beside the deal we're talking about today, we already got another one on its way. Yes, I understand, finally past the permitting headaches in full-blown mode. And we'll definitely spend some time on next time talking about that deal with an update. But Cody, just an exit question that I think I know the answer to. Let me ask you this. Are you ready for our next deal?
Am I ready? I am extremely pumped. That's a fair question.
Let's go get it done. I appreciate it. Thanks, Cody.
No problem. Thanks, Pete.